Good morning. My name is Paul Joseph, and I'm glad to be here. Probably been here 2 years in a row. But met Robert. He saw me talking to a group of students down in Dallas, TONI&GUY, and he was impressed at how I can assault the whole crowd and get them to understand that they're part of the reason for the season for being successful. How many people in this room are looking forward to living life one-on-one very successful? Can I see your hands? Okay. Those of you who didn't raise your hands are just probably waiting to see what's going to happen next in your life. I want to talk to people here today that want to go big time in the hair industry. Can I see the hands of those people? Okay, the rest of you are dismissed. You guys gather in here close to me because I want to talk about the real hair industry from my point of view. And it's about, in my opinion, taking risk. And I'm looking for my notes. I had them all morning till I got here and in front of you to look them up. So I can carry notes with me because every crowd of people I talk to have a different type of vibe they give me before I start talking. And usually I try to tune into who you are because this is not about me talking to you today, because a lot of people call me a motivational speaker. What is a motivational speaker? What does that mean? What's a motivational speaker? Somebody that inspires somebody or makes them perspire. Did you hear the difference? Someone who inspires, but that also makes you perspire. Why would you perspire? Because that's what I do. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a provoker. What's the difference? I used to think I was a motivational speaker. What's the difference? This is all important. You got to know this stuff. Because you're either being provoked in your life, or you're being inspired in your life, or you're being motivated for something in your life. Does that make sense? What would be the difference between being provoked and being motivated?
You get excited.
Pardon?
You get excited.
You get excited. Hold that thought. What else? I'm sure class, I'm just probing to see what you guys think about this segment of what we do. This is probably the most detrimental, frightening experience a person can ever do. It's two things in life that you're most afraid of. You know what they are? Dying. That's number one. And the number two, what'd you say? Public speaking. Why is public speaking such a big deal? What? Are you afraid to get up in front of the class? Okay, come stand up. Okay, I want you to tell them what my name is.
Paul.
No, you're not me. Nobody knows. There's only one. There can only be one. It's got to be you. What's your name?
Ava.
Ava, what are you doing here at this school?
Learning how to do hair.
Learning how to do hair. And then when you learn how to do hair, what are you going to do?
I'm going to do hair.
That was really obvious. You're going to do hair. Well, I want to kind of talk about that journey today. So this is awesome that she would stand up here and converse with me, because I think that's what is missing in our life in the hair industry, knowing that one. Zach always says that to us. He says, and you got to know that one. And it's true. Then we go ahead and sit down because you want to stand up here with me. But the bottom line is, why would communication be such a big deal? I mean, how many of you got this out right now and you're looking at it? You are, I know. I see it. But this is our life. And in this industry, you need to kind of put this, your life, in your pocket and forget about it. Because there's several things to make a successful hairdresser, esthetician, nail technician, and who else do we have represented here? You ladies in the back there that look kind of like you just came from a basketball game. Are you? Well, who are you? Are you students? Are you here observing what's going on? Okay, that's cool. Just check it out. I want to But for me, to get my head around where you are right now, because I had a different experience when I first got into the hair industry. Guys, can you believe it? There is not a hairdressing student guy in the whole room. This is amazing to me. Is there a guy out there? There is not one. This is the first time I've been to the school there hasn't been a guy in the room or a couple. So you girls are taking it all over. The sisters are showing up. Make a mistake. How about that? But this to me is the most provocative business because I did not want to be a hairdresser. I was into the rock and roll business. I mean, had the long hair. I was showing the girls up here on the wall. There's pictures of me with long hair. That's what I used to look like before I came into this industry. I had long hair, black fingernail polish. I was probably 20 pounds less than I am now. And I mean, I was really skinny. I have a son named Josiah. He's probably 140 pounds wet. He's almost 6 foot tall. Looks like a true string bean walking down the street. Does hair. But I was really into the music business. And it had one bad thing after another. So a friend of mine says, why don't you get into the hairdressing business? And he had a motive. He was selfish. He had been in a major accident, made a lot of money. So he got that money and he opened up his own hair salon. He was looking for having not only ladies, but he was wanting gentlemen. And this is back a minute. So when he asked me, do you want to be a hairdresser? I go, no, only girls do hairdressing. Guys don't do that. And then he got really ticked off as he's calling me a girl. He was an Italian short guy, I mean arms this big. He worked out all the time. Good looking Italian guy. He says, you calling me a girl? Like he's gonna smack me. I go, no, I don't mean any offense, but it's just something I never thought. Now here's my challenge. Not educated, come from a very poor family, didn't have much, didn't take education seriously. I'm at the beginning of my 20s and I have no direction home. And so I wasn't motivated to get into the hairdressing business out of something to have tangible that could maybe give me a career that I could really do it and be something, and it gave me a provoking mindset that this looked like a rock show to me. You go, how do you compare this to a rock band hairdressing? Well, think about it. My audience sits in a chair. They look into the mirror. It's very egotistical. It's about making them feel good. Part of the TONI&GUY culture, our culture, is to make people look good and feel good. Now, estheticians are here. Nail people are here. The cosmetologists. It's a big girl business. And if you don't get your head around it right now, what's the general age in the room? Let me get that one saucer amongst you. Who's the youngest person over here, the girls now? Who's 16? Let's see your age. Oh, that's crazy. I mean, this is in the hairdressing business. You guys aren't in it yet. You're just watching. But this is probably one of the few businesses going forward that AI is not going to take over. What is AI? Artificial intelligence. It's not going to take over this business. It is highly personalized and it's highly artistic. And it is highly a touchy-feely business for people today who are so caught up with technology. There are very few outlets where you can go and have human interaction, and this is one of them. I met a guy in Newport Beach as I was learning to do hairdressing. He had long hair down to here, all this turquoise jewelry. He worked in Newport Beach, which is kind of the big deal area back in the 70s of doing hairdressing. The guy was a crap hairdresser. Excuse my language, but he was. But he had something that I thought was amazing. He knew how to make his clients feel good. He had the gift of gab. He could make them feel like the queen for the day of very chic, important people. And he had a platform in the middle of his salon that they had to walk up on like they were something special with lights that came down on them. And I thought, what a smart guy. And guess who was the busiest guy in the salon? His name was Pinky, which I don't know what that was coming from, but his name was Pinky and he looked like a hippie with turquoise on. So Pinky had probably one of the biggest clienteles in Newport Beach, and I thought, how amazing. But it wasn't about his art, it was about his communication. Make sense? 90% of what you're learning here is communication. Your instructors are doing it, you're doing it, And you need to understand it, because the person who is going to engage in this industry successful needs to learn how to communicate. Let's write that one. Let's write that one. There. Communication. Now, a lot of you know how to text. A lot of you know how to post. A lot of you know how to use your different apps. But how many of you have a hard time communicating with people that come into the school even? I mean, anybody want to be honest? Is it hard? Why is it hard? Because you don't know what to say. Well, what's the first thing you got to do? Let's go there. I think I did this here last year, but 90% also of communication, there's a 10% value I want to add to this, communication. Right up here from the hairdresser.
On the other side?
Yeah, right here. Right here. Okay? What does a hairdresser look like? Or an esthetician look like? Or a nail tech for that matter? You know what I'm saying? I can tell you one thing a hairdresser looked like. He or she, you don't want to be looking like Boppy Sally, flopping in, you know? Hair not done, no makeup. You look like your clothes have been, wore for the last week. Funny, when you went on Saturday night, you don't look like that. But when you go to school, some of these kids I see in schools across America, they don't know what they're getting involved in. And this is a big girl, big time business. So if you're not interested in being the best, then stay home. I know it sounds rude, but this is a big girl business. It's about, what is a hairdresser? Let's talk about that for a minute. What is a hairdresser? What does a hairdresser look like? Let's go there. What does a hairdresser look like?
Put together.
What's that?
Put together.
Now, here we go. Here's a put together. So they have an image. They put forth an image. Put an image here. So what does that image incur? So if you're doing hair, what should your hair look like? Optimum? A style? Not a couple of bobby pins and, hey, I'm here to school. What's time to learn something? Now, this is going to be insulting. I'm going to be really honest. There's some girls in here have their hair nicely braided. They look like they're going somewhere. And some of you look like you just got up time to be in school. Now, let me ask you something. Are you going to be more inclined to go to a person that looks like this? And I'm not going to point out the worst because that's insulting. I'm not here to do that, but yes, I am. Because I don't understand if you say you want to be in the beauty business, but you bring ugly to school. You shouldn't laugh because it is pretty funny. I mean, I see it in our own schools. Girls show up and they look like they've been fried, dyed, laid to the side, and the party was great, but man, at school, they're a hot mess, and it's time for you to go home. Not interested in you being here today. First of all, it makes clients go, who the hell is that going to do my hair? And wow, do you really care about who you are as an individual? And is that the image of hairdressing? So what am I going to get here? People are looking for what today? Hair fashion, hair quality, relatability, communication. Make sense? So I think image, how your hair looks. Let's put hair down. Hair is huge for us. When I'm looking around the room, I see a lady here with red in her hair. It's kind of cold, We put forth fashion. I see you long hair girls way down to here, Got a little bob working here with a little violet in the hair. Or burgundy, what is that?
It's supposed to be red, so probably.
It's not red. That's red. That's red. Okay. Just tell me, I'm not colorblind yet. Getting there.
It's burgundy.
Burgundy, okay. But you see what I'm trying to say here? And please take me to heart here, because this is the rest of your life going forward of what you want to do. Now, when I got into this business, as I said, it was a rock star business. The stage was my chair, my audience was my client, and I'm the talent. I'm the rock star. So either I'm bringing my A game or I don't got one. Do you understand? You want to be great in this industry. That's all you guys all say. I want to be successful. Well, that means you got to do what? You got to bring the best of you that you can possibly bring. And two things interfere with that. One is, what is a hairdresser? Image. What's the second thing that should be up here? Makeup. Put it right down up. Makeup. How does your makeup, especially you estheticians, you're provoking people to have a better skin texture and to have healthier skin, but then it's kind of like hair care products. That's what your sister, you get up, walk around, do whatever you want to. Go get a drink of water if you want. But, you know what I'm saying? It's all about knowing what I'm going to be, project, and be in this industry. So it's makeup, hair, image, what else? Let's go back to the image, kind of do a side out this. Fashion? It's about fashion. Would you be listening to me today if I came up here and torn up jeans and my hair was sticking out every which way and I'm going, hey man, what's up, you know? Peace out, babe, you know? Glad you're here. I'm really cool. I want you to know that. And okay. Do me a favor. Dress up like you want to fess up and be something going somewhere that's going to have cause and effect. Do you know as a human being, you have cause and effect with everybody in your footprint? You know that? You, by your image, all around your image, you're affecting your realm of influence. So how much more visibly should we as young people, aspiring to be something, take what we're doing and understand it from this aspect? So now it's the makeup, hair, image, we'll just say fashion. Well, let's go back over here. I want you to put right over here now. Commitment. Commitment. What's a commitment, ladies? It's a commitment. No, what is a commitment? It's a binding word. Think of it like that. When you came here to school, what did you do when you walked into the administrator's office? You came here to talk about what?
Hair.
Hair. Where are my estheticians? You came in to talk about what?
Skin.
Skin. What did you have to do in that room once you talked about it? Sign an agreement which made you what? Committed?
Yes.
Commitment. All right? So now we're done. Got my fervent sort of right over here in the middle. Vision. You had to have the vision. So you visualize yourself being an esthetician. You're already a hairdresser. You want to be a hairdresser. You want to be a red hairdresser.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it, by the way. I think we should do different things. I used to have a big white streak. Now I have a real one. I hate it. My hair was all black. And I'd like fingernail polish before it's fashionable. In fact, I had tattoos that wasn't fashionable. Back in the day when I had tattoos in the hair business, considered ghetto. It wasn't for a guy who came out with a product line named Orbe. He worked in the Red Door, one of the most exclusive, posh, rich lady salon. And Orbe had tattoos from here to here, one of the first hairdressers I ever saw in the hair industry. And it became a fashionable thing. People stopped judging you by the outside, and he started remembering you because of the inside that's in every one of you. That is the gift of you are somebody special. Ladies, can I say it again? You are somebody special. And if you don't have people in your life telling you that you're special, then you need to change playmates, change your lifestyle, and you need to be somewhere else because you don't need toxic relationships to go forward in life now, especially from 60 to whatever age is the oldest person here included. I'm the oldest person here. I know that, but it's not part of the story. I'm living my story. I got into the hairdressing business. I understood image because being a rock star, you had to have the right hair, the right rock star clothes. I mean, we lived it out. We didn't make any money, but we lived it out. So I understood image. My hair was everything. I wore a little bit of makeup then. It was the thing to do. So, how many understand the term glam rock? Any of you experienced that? David Bowie and all that kind of stuff. That was the glam rock age. And he provoked that. It was out of control. I went and saw him at the Palladium in Hollywood when he first came to America and did the first Ziggy Stardust, Spiders from Mars. Check out that album. That was probably the most outrageous show I've ever seen in my life. It was perfect. The hair, the makeup, the fashion, even the sound and the lighting was spectacular. It blew me up. And one of my jobs when I got out of my own personal salon and sold it, because I met this group called Toni and Guy, And for me, the lights went off in my head. I met Tony and Guy. I said, this is my world ends. And I was in Hawaii. I finally got my own salon. I'm in Hawaii. You know, the breeze is blowing. Palm trees are swaying, little umbrella drinks. And I left it all. Gave my salon to my partner for $10 because you had to give stock away in that day. You had to sell it. So I said, you can have my stock for $10. He says, you're a nut job. I go, thank you. Sounds critical, doesn't it? Stupid. My whole family thought I was stupid. But I met something called Toni and Guy, and it was bigger than these pictures portray up here on the wall. My life changed in the hair industry, and I knew my destiny. 90% of the young people today, you make me a little nervous because some of you still don't know your trajectory or your destiny or what your end game's going to be. Make sense? We have a label. I've just given you several of what you signed up, and the word was commitment. So my opinion is, what really drives commitment? Vision is number one, but write up your passion. So what are you passionate about? I'm passionate about being here telling you this is your wake-up call as an individual. I'm not talking to corporate here, corporate future hairdressers, estheticians, pedicures. I'm talking to corporate. The hair world is in front of me right now. That's how I see it. This is what I'm making up right now, my perception. My reality is this is the next hair world invasion happening here. Some of you are going to be awesome. And some of you, forgive me for saying this, you're going to suck. It's funny and sad. I went to hair school with 30 people in my class. 20 years into the game. How many of you think are still in the game? It's from 1973 to 1992. How many think we're still in the game? Just take a guess. I mean,
5.
oh, that's generous. Me and this other guy. He's from New York. That's where I get it from. Here, me and this other guy. We don't to stay in the game. In fact, I think he's still doing hair in Laguna Beach, California somewhere. What happened to the other 28? What do you think happened? They what? Lost their passion. That's why it's important to have a vision. And that's why it's important to really know this is it, man. I'm making the right choice. Man, I'm excited about that. I want to be the best at this. Who's got the knowledge? I'm asking all the questions I get. I want to get involved. Who are the people that are making the hair world like, no kidding, pop culture is going nuts. Fashion, music, hair, makeup. I want to be a part of those people. That's where I was. And I met them. This little Italian guy named Anthony Viscolo. So I didn't meet Tony and Guy yet. I met Anthony. What a weirdo he was. Probably the most outrageous weirdo I ever met in my life. He was like a little elf with a pipe of horn. Says, you want to come and play? Start hanging out with us. It was so simple, it was actually stupid. And we got along. We actually got along. English culture with an American with no education. He didn't have very good education either. He was a hairdresser from the day he was 14 years old. His dad was a hairdresser. His grandfather was a hairdresser. His mother was a hairdresser. His brothers were hairdressers. He just naturally came in the salon and started doing hair because he'd just been around it as a kid. And it was his passion. He's created some of the most outrageous Tony and Guy haircuts along with his nephew. Zach Muscolo was here with us, CEO of Toni and Guy. And a whole bunch of other people who believed, had a passion. They could visualize this technique, Toni and Guy. It's kind of what I said to you guys over here yesterday. Once you learn our 11 haircuts, and you can learn to do them 3 to 5 different ways, you have a repertoire in your bag of 55 different styles that you could do from New York, Miami, to Dallas, Texas, Chicago, all the way across to LA, San Francisco, maybe not San Francisco, but down to San Diego, and you're never, I'm proof, you're never out of work. You guys tracking me? How cool is it that you can be in charge of your own destiny and you're never out of work because your talent and your ability, you've learned it, experienced it, you own it, and you have it. But out of this here word here, I want to write another word. Put another word up here. Belief in myself. Belief system. Let's go there for just a minute. 90% of what's going to stop some of you in this room is what you make up about what you think you are. Does that make sense? If somebody tells you you're not a this for so many times in a year or all your life, you start believing, I'm a not this. I never had a lot of positive acclamations as a kid. Don't worry, I'm not seeing a therapist, I'm not damaged goods, I'm not going to cry victim up here, because victims are a bunch of people who won't assume responsibility for their own destiny and take control and make things happen. Are you clear on that? We've all had trauma in our life. We've all had probably the most perfect parent. We probably all have had some things we don't want to talk about in this room. But guess what? You're not alone. 90% of where you come from has nothing to do with where you're going, because where you're going is more important than where you girls are coming from. Where you're going is more important. You guys got that for me? You don't hear nothing today. Where you're going is more important than where you come from. And your best affirmation of who you are is you saying, I count. You count?
Yeah.
You count? You count? No, say it like you mean it. You do. You do count. You count? You count? I love doing this one. You count? You count? You count? You count? You count? You count? You know you count. You count? You count? Quit judging who you are but who you think you should be based on the people you hang out with. There's not another you. You know that? What's your name? Scott? I always want to look at Scott. I always look at this Scott. This is Scott, ladies and gentlemen. There's not another one in the room. Unique, different, and an independent energy that's going to change her trajectory and have an influence in her own footprint of life. Same as you, same as you, same as all of you at that. Once I got a hold of that, there was a saying we used to say, it's very corny in the 80s. The world is my oyster. You ever heard that one? Such a stupid statement, but it's true. You can be who you want to be as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else and it's authentic, because no one likes a person who's not authentic in our industry. And real quick, you can go, who's authentic here? Who actually says what they do and they do what they say? What a concept, right? Don't you think you can trust somebody like that? They don't just talk it, they walk it. I was the most biggest pain in the backside of my instructors when I went to hair school, because I was always asking the question, how come we can't do this? And I had one teacher take me on the side and say, you need to shut up, because we don't want to do or answer your questions, because this is the way we've always done hairdressing teaching, and this is all the way we're always going to continue doing hairdressing if you want to be a part of this school. Well, that works if it's taking you from point A to point B, but if it's not training you or getting you anywhere, what is the point of time and money wasted if you're not seeing a point A to point B trajectory? Does that make sense? So this here is important. I had visualized myself being a great hairdresser. I also visualized myself being a part of something that was bigger than myself. And what was that? Toni&GUY was about a culture of making people look good, feel good. Making people look good was the technique and the artistry. Making people feel good was a communication that I started this whole media now, but because you've got to learn to communicate. What does that look like? What does that look like? Hi, my name is Paul Joseph. What's your name?
Cassie.
Cassie? Good to meet you. Welcome to Toni&GUY today. This is communication. Hi, my name is Paul Joseph. Cardi? Nice to meet you. What's your name? Ashley. Ashley, I'm Paul Joseph.
I'm Shelby. Nice to meet you.
Good comeback. That's never been done. Usually they're going. I usually get the, hey, why did you diss me, man? Because it's a diss when you don't communicate right away in the hairdressing business. You don't walk up and introduce yourself and be present in the room when you have a client. This is all about you being the rock star that I'm telling you. And it's not what you make up and call yourself. It's how you act, how you are authentic. Right? I met Sky. What you did? Isn't that engaging? It's better than, walk up there. See how important touch and recognizing somebody is? It's the deal maker, it's the icebreaker. That's what you do every day. That's what you do with your colleagues. That's what you do when you come in here and you greet the public. Make sense? These are these little things you take for granted. They're so important on you putting you out there and people getting to know you. You don't have to be loud like me. That's not being successful. It's being you like you and being able to communicate it to people. Vision. I could see a possibility. Passion. I love this industry. Communication. I'm doing it now. Trying to let you see, understand, you are a force in your own realm here. And let me just say this, ladies. Right here is my boundary. Put your arm out. Right here is your boundary. No one in this industry goes past those boundaries. Are we clear? Anybody who's into the using and abusing of anybody in our hair industry, call the police and disassociate yourself. You do not have to be treated or abused to be successful in this industry. And trust me, I've had many circumstances as a young person by people who were trying to take advantage of me, which I don't want to get into, but I just want to stay in the area of boundaries. You owe nobody nothing except 2 or 3 things. What would those be? Respect, recognition, and for you to be authentically clear about your boundaries. Are we clear on that? Because I'm clear. Your boundaries are everything. And you live them. You walk them out. Confidence. Can you spell that? Confidence. Now let's talk about this for a second. Because I don't have a whole time to really get into this. I'm already 40 minutes into this. But why do I bring up confidence? What's that about? Confidence. Believe in yourself. Now, we say it, but do we really believe it? Do you believe in yourself? Tell me something that makes you think you believe in yourself. What have we got? Tell me. Who are you?
I'm Lainey. I don't know. I just got
Not your question.
I just do what I just did.
You need to do what you need to do. Okay? Listen to types of people. And what you're saying is correct. So your human factor of being authentic is true. There's those people who do what they need to do. What does that represent? I do what I just need to do. Not a bad thing. I just want to make a point. I need to do what I need to do. Or as I said, I do what's needed and called for. Does that make sense? No more, no less. Not a bad thing. But I've always been a high achiever, pushing the envelope, so to speak. I've always been one of those people when they used to say, remember this? This is a psychological business term, thinking outside the box. Any of you ever heard that term? Think outside the box. What the hell does that mean? That you got to think outside the box. The first time that was introduced, it was a big motivational guy. Had a whole story around thinking outside the box. My opinion was, if I've got to think outside the box, maybe we should just burn the box and make this thing from the ground up something brand new. So break old habits, doing what's needed and called for, and see about the game. Write this down. Reinventing yourself, because that's what you're all here doing. You're reinventing yourself by these buzzwords I'm putting up here. So what does that mean? You're going far and beyond what you need to do. So what do you want to be in the industry? Hairdresser, okay? What turns you, gets you energy or passion going about hairdresser? I don't care what it is. Pardon? So you like coloring? Okay, so you're colorist. I've daughter a better color than they are haircutting, but one does haircutting, one just makes a ton of money doing color. She's passionate about it. She's made a reputation in Dallas. It's unheard of for people like that to do $100,000 a year. Anybody here want to do $100,000 a year? How many of you know that you're going to be making more than $18 an hour, $20 an hour, $25 an hour, $50 an hour if you want to live in America? You guys got that? So this is a big girl game. Big girl game. Put on your big girl pants because we're going somewhere here if you want to. I can't make you, I can't show you, I can only show you, I can't take you there, but I can only tell you what my game was. I never ever entertained the word no. It was always yes and when and by what time date I'm going to make these things happen. And we worked our butts off. Nothing was below serving whatever it needed to be done. We'd be building stages in the middle of the night at shows. And in the morning, had to get up and be all fresh like the stage was built for us and we're rock stars and we'll walk down and start doing our show. No, we were the back end guys, we were the front end guys, we were the all around guys. So I think I was talking to Robert, the CEO of this business here, and I just said to him, you know, if you're too special to serve, then leadership is beyond you of leading anything. I'll just tell you right now. It's the little things. It's the details. It's the little foxes that eat up the ripe fruit of success because we're above it. Who told you to be above it? Oh, no, I don't do that. Well then, okay. We asked certain people back in the day, you want to be a part of this? They said yes, but then when it came to doing it, oh no, I can't do that. You have to pay me. I can't tell you how much I did for nothing just so I could learn and have the intellectual knowledge through experience to excel me into all the things I learned to do. Well, what did you learn to do, Paul Joseph? Well, first of all, I learned to put myself together. I dressed up in a long sleeve shirt, custom by this guy. Back in the day, it was called roll-in shirts. They were silk shirts with great designs. And I found the distributor, because I'm a cheap bastard. Excuse my language. Is that on camera? Sorry. Anyways, I'm a shopaholic. I grew up with my mom, no father. And I shop for everything. Everything I buy is on sale. All the time. I'm a sales shopper because I used to go with my mom. We go to stores, sales, and I learned to shop. It's not how much money you spend. It's how good your ideas are of putting yourself together. Now, I spent some real money on some designer stuff. But I'm going to tell you, 90% of my money I spend even today, I'm always looking on how I can put it together in a way where it makes me feel like I'm fresh. Because getting in front of you guys, I'm a little intimidated. Why would I be intimidated? Anybody know why I would be intimidated?
Because we're young.
Pardon? Who said that? And it's true, and I hate you. But it's but it's true. You're young. And I'm older. Can't help it. Can't help it. If you're breathing, you're going to get older. Let's write this up. Time. Right here. Because this is what I'm eating up right now. Time. Thank you, because it's true. No, but the point being, but you make a great point. I'm 75 years old the 12th of this month. This is what 75 years old looks like if you're still on fire, you got a passion for what you love to do, and you're relatable to the audience you talk to. Does that make sense? That makes sense to me. When I can't relate to you guys anymore, I'm out. Game over. But I think I have something to share because I've been through the fire. I've been through down and out. I know what doesn't work, and I know what does work. And I think if you listen to me, the old man, might save you a couple of steps, maybe. Nothing saves anybody unless they take action. I'll take over now too much. But this is the game we're in. Probably the biggest game on the board here. It's not this. This is what I talked about earlier. If you don't have this, the art, you'll never have this. You tracking me? How important is this education now? How important is this education now? Say with me, group. Very important. Ready?
Very important.
The rest of you didn't do that, you're all chickens. You got to come out and play. This is a big girl game. Come on, let's get your personality on the floor here. Let's start seeing your art self out here being bad in the hairdressing world. You say you want to be a part of. I'm 75. I'm on my way out. This is what it looks like going out. My granddad and my father weren't like this. They were wearing those old baggy pants and plaid shirts and had haircuts that they should have never been wearing and telling anybody I was a hairdresser. My dad did the comb over one. Oh my God, didn't even introduce me as a hairdresser. We'd be standing in Hawaii and then the wind would blow it. Be like a sail would come up. And I said, don't tell people I'm a hairdresser. That's a hot mess. Said, what would you do with it? I said, I cut it off. Be who you are, bald and good looking. So I did. I cut it off. He slicked it back. He looked great. People said, man, your hair looks great. He never got a compliment like that because he had to sail. He wasn't even a sailor. So stupid. You know, it's hard to interrupt craziness of what people think is trendy because we all have a perception of what we think trend is. I'm a huge victim of pop culture. Even today, last night we were talking about rock bands, yesterday's and today's. And Sierra, as part of our team, brought up a group. No one's ever said it was really good. It was a group called The Animals. It was one of my favorite groups in the 60s. They were a blues band. That's what they were. They were a blues band, but great band. And we were talking about the music, and about 4 or 5 songs came up to my mind and talked about it for years. But it's about being in tune with where you're jamming. What is your jam? You don't even know. That's what I'm trying to get you to focus on. Because I put up the concepts, but none of this makes any difference unless you embrace why you're here and the validity of why this is important. Because here it is in a nutshell. You're born, right? What's going to happen here? You would die. Okay? Can we get that out of the way? You die. Biggest fear amongst humanity. I tell you, I had a heart attack in February. I flipped the flock of seagulls out about that one. Mr. Invincible. No, you're not. Mr. Bulletproof. No, you're not. Mr. Reality. Yes, I am. I'm living in the real world now. This is all temporal. But I'm trying to make a point. Right here is you're right, because it can look better if you write right success right underneath it. Right under that timeline is something you control. From birth to the end of whatever life is, you're in control. Do you guys get that? Not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend, not your mommies, not your daddies, not your uncles, your cousins, significant anybody. You are in control of you. You get that? You control it? Absolutely. Success. Man, you better look. If you can't spell it, you can't have it. SUCCESS. I ain't lie, I have the worst time spelling, even at my age today, and I hate it. But I always lean into what I hate. If I can't do it, learning from my CEO at the time when I was in TONI&GUY, his name was Bruno, if he didn't know something, he'd hire somebody to do it. And then he learned what they did, and he fired them. You know, don't cut yourself off short. How many of you use YouTube to learn things and how to do things? Unbelievable, isn't it? I used to ask my son Josh, he's president of TONI&GUY back then. I said, how do you know everything? It seemed like anything he could do, electric, cars, whatever. He said, dude, all you do is you go on YouTube, information to learn how to. You're now in the how-to career. And the thing I'm afraid for some of you is how you're utilizing your time, how you're projecting your image. Who are you when you show up? Can you write another one over there for me? Attitude. Put her underneath there. Attitude. Just take, yeah, let's take this off. This is probably the biggest point on the board. Attitude. Anybody want to speak to attitude? How many of you know this person? It's in one of your classes. I don't care if it's sunny outside, this person says it's cloudy. I don't care if you say it's a good day, this person says it's a bad day. And I don't care if you're trying to be proactive, this person doesn't even know what the definition of proactive is because they're so negative Nelly. Continually moaning, victim, victim, victim. Anybody know anybody like that in your group? I find them everywhere I go. They just show up. The victim one. And I don't even know why they're in school because they don't think anything's proactive or positive. Or I'm not pretty enough. Nobody likes you. I don't like you either. People used to come up and moan and negative when I was teaching in school. And you know what I learned to do is to try to fix their problem because you girls do not like it when your significant others, you're just telling them something negative. You don't want them to fix it. What do you want them to do? Listen! What do you think you got to learn to do as a hairdresser? Say it. Listen! 90% of this game is you being able to communicate as being a better listener than a better speaker. And I know because I got a big mouth and I can talk for hours, but my weakness is hearing, listening to people's opinions because I think sometimes mine are more valuable. No, that's very narcissistic of you, Paul Joseph, but no, people all have a valuable point. It is wise to the man or woman who takes counsel with many and then makes one's decision. Does that make sense? Pretty simple, but that's really intelligent. Intelligence is picked up by being able to waste people's verbal experiences so you don't have to make the same mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So notice this isn't about motivation. This is about, hey, wake up. You got a life. What are you going to do with it? Come out of it. You're wasting time here. And it's the one thing that I want you guys to understand. I can get $1. I can't get more time. So what's my most precious commodity and yours? Is what? Time. What are you doing with it? Wasters? What are you doing with it? You ain't getting it back. I just took an hour out of your life. And you're not getting it back if you don't like what I'm saying. I don't care. Because I know what I'm saying works if you'll take 10% of it. But I just took an hour from you. How you like that? And got away with it. And got away with it. How do you waste your time? I'm not wasting my time today. I'm talking to somebody and they're hearing me loud and clear, even though I'm old. Don't discard the old people. They got a little wisdom. They may not be cool as you, but they got a little wisdom. Hey, I'm not listening to you anymore. Thank you, by the way. So what am I saying here? Is your time important? How many of you are close to graduating from school? Oh, here comes the biggest question. Are you excited? Yes. Are you scared?
No.
Good. Are you scared? Are you armed and are you dangerous? Do you know where you're going? Are you got a place to go to? Are they educated? Are they professional? Are they got game? Ladies, if you don't got game, you might as well quit now. Gotta have game. I used to do a little bit of session work. I tell you right now, in the session world, and I have a good friend of mine, his name's Pierre. He's still doing session work today. It's the biggest magazines in the world. None of you know who he is, but you go online and see all his work. He's working for Vogue, all these other names he's done it. And I said, what is your greatest fear? He says that I'll show up, and he's been doing it for 20 years. I'll show up and I won't have game. Because just like that, you can be successful, just like this. And you're out. Because you weren't able to do the hair the magazine wanted. And a lot of times the hair the magazine want is not what you and I would do as hairdressers. But we're not here to do our own thing until we have a reputation where people say, "Give me that thing you do." No, no, no. You're here to serve and to take your skills and to take your intellect and your personality and cater to the individual sitting in that chair. When they know you love them. It's like this. Nobody cares what you know. They know that you care. Make sense? It's a very cold world. And when people are congenial, especially in the hairdressing world, it brings clients back into your business. What time is it, guys? I'm actually think we're almost 2 more minutes and I have to quit. I think. So, what time is it? Not to me, it's your class, it ain't my class. I'm leaving in a little while.
Tommy get excited.
Pardon?
Tommy get excited.
I don't care if you get excited.
About her career.
You're absolutely right. Well, I call it one more thing. Excitement will be gone tomorrow. Like somebody will ask, who was that wild old guy who was standing in front of you last week? I don't know. We got all excited, but what did he say? I don't know. Something about time and dying. It was a bit morbid, but I don't know. That's why motivation sucks, in my opinion. You're high for the minute. I'm looking for the long term, where I had happened to me about 2 years ago. A person had been in a class 10 years ago with me. And walked up and said, "Paul Joseph, I want to meet you." Shake your hand. And she said to me, and I almost started crying. She said, "Because of you, my trajectory in life changed. I started loving myself. I started believing in myself, taking confidence. Today, the person I am is because you provoked me." Not excited her, provoked her to understand that her destiny is in her hands. And no one can take that from you. No one has the right to steal your dream. No one has that power unless you give it away. I don't believe in brainwashing. You give your brain away. This is such thing as brainwashing. You relinquish to make your own decisions is what brainwashing is. You let other people make your decisions, and then you wonder why I'm in this hot mess of living. Because you don't want to have to make those decisions. Because living in life is like this. Living in life is a struggle. Why do you think everything's a struggle in your life? Anybody know? We struggle. Why? Passion. You know passion is pain? Can we prove it to you? Let's see your hand. Does that hurt?
Yeah.
Does it hurt a lot?
Yeah.
Okay. It's pain, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what that tells you?
Passion is pain.
No, it tells you you're alive. If I was pinching you, you were doing nothing, I'm just going to go, call the medics. Pain shows you're alive. Struggling is you're alive. Life is in the struggle and what you do about it. I have a saying, it's my saying, whether you want to have it or not, it's your choice. But I don't let struggle have me. I have it. There's not a perfect scenario. There's not a perfect relationship. If you're looking for the perfect relationship, or the perfect person, or the perfect job, let me tell you what's going to happen. When you get that perfect relationship, you get to that perfect job, or the perfect life, guess what's going to happen to you? Anybody know? When you get there, it's going to be a hot mess. Because there's nothing perfect about anybody in this room. So, how many perfectionists do we have? No, serious, this is a big deal. You need to be honest with yourself. How many of you are perfectionists? Okay, now that you put your hands up, do you ever get so frustrated you want to quit because it wasn't done perfect? Get done. I'm out of here. It's not perfect. I'm quitting. I'm done with this. Get over it. You're not striving for perfection. We're striving for excellence. Does that make sense? I am so wound up, my tie came undone. Are you guys hearing me? Because I'm going to have to quit yelling at you now. So one thing I don't want you to do, to be a highly personable person and to bring your character out, you don't have to yell and scream. You just need to be, I don't know if I can spell this right, I don't know how to spell it, authentic. Does that make sense? Be you. Thank you for being you today, because it's authentic. I can receive that. BS, Peter, I cannot receive that. Mine goes off when I hear certain people, because I've been in the people business for a minute. Okay? So I'm going to wrap up now. We done? Well, I never want to be done. I could scream at these people for 3 hours because I want you to be the most highly successful people that have come into my life. Can I be real? That's authentic. I want you to see the value of you holding in your hands the art that can change your trajectory and your destiny. You can be the greatest hairdresser, our esthetician, our manicure, pedicure here in this Pittsburgh area, Philadelphia. Sky's the limit. I can go anywhere in the United States and do my thing, and I will attain my measure of success because I know who I am. I know my experience. My age isn't a boundary. My communication is a boundary. What is a boundary to you is that you think you have all the education and that you think you know it all, and now you're in danger. Because learning to be successful is being able to learn for the rest of your life. Got that? So, question time. What was the most insightful thing that I said to you today that's resonating with you right now? I don't care what it was. Anybody? Yes, ma'am. Love it, because it's true. If I was to stand in where I came from, I'd be nothing. I come from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm an Italian hillbilly, no education, poor family. We were close to being that living down by the river in a trailer. Conversation. Never that bad, but close. But that wasn't my projection. Where I'm going is more important. Even today, where I'm going from here is more important than where I come from. Anybody else? Something I said stick out. I'll give myself feedback from you. You heard something or you didn't? Yes, ma'am. Pardon?
We all matter.
Let me get that one clear before I close. I want everybody to say this together with me, okay? Everybody, please join me. Say these 3 words with me. I think it's 3 words. No, 4. I am a gift. Can we say that together? 1, 2, I'm going to say it on 3. All together. I want to hear the room resonate with this. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I am a gift.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful. I want you to believe it. There's not another person like you on planet Earth. You are going to bring value as you go forward in your life if you believe in yourself and believe the gift that you are and have the confidence to know I do matter and I am going to change people's lives by my art and by authenticity. Make sense? I'm going to end on this. It's kind of corny, but I got to say it because I believe it. That's how corny I am because I'm sentimental. But I always say, shoot for the moon. Okay, so you don't get the moon. I guarantee you this, if you shoot high, you may end up with a handful of stars. And I have had a handful of stars I've done all over the world because of my belief in myself, my commitment. Seriously. And it's been a game changer. Even my dad, when he walked into my first house, he goes, wow, what a place this is. You must have cut a lot of haircuts to get this. It's that simple, that stupid, but that intelligent to know that you have a gift in your hands that's life-changing to you and your family. And with that, thank you for putting up for me for an hour. You guys are brilliant, and you are a gift. Hope to see you in the future of success. Don't die. Do not die on who you are. Let your dreams be magnificently put forth in how you live, think, and walk in the world of hairdressing. Thank you very much.